think I'm live. So welcome to Coffee, Eggs and Inspiration. It's a Lockdown Innovation Diary edition, and this is going out live. It's the first time I've done this live before. I'm just standing in front of my my computer here with a webcam, so not the usual smartphone setup today. And as the title of the video says, today I'd like to talk about the biggest live music concert that just happened during lockdown. Wait, what? Yeah, during lockdown. So music's pretty close to my heart. As some of you will know, I started a record label supporting an artist called Kwazi Cort. By the way, he released his first single last week, Please Don't Boast, featuring LD67. I'll put the link below for those of you watching back in replay mode. And live music is obviously a big part of the industry. Globally, it's worth about $30 billion a year. That's about 50% of all music money in the record industry or in the music industry. So when something like COVID-19 happens, of course, all of the live music, the festivals, etc., get cancelled. So this should be a pretty big problem, right, for musicians. But what I want to celebrate and surface today is actually the huge innovation and creativity that we've seen this industry pivot with. You know, taking the necessity of lockdown and using that as the mother of invention. And we've seen some really, really interesting examples of this coming to pass. I'll list out a few of them here, and then I'll talk about the example I want to highlight today. The first is Live Nation. So Live Nation, as many of you will know, is also the owner of Ticketmaster. They're the largest music festival owner in the world. If you go to a live concert or a festival, odds are it's probably a Live Nation one. A wonderful company with thousands of venues around the world and festivals all over the place. Of course, those out of the interests of safety and following government regulations have been cancelled, which means they have pivoted to a thing called Live from Home. I'll put the link below. Check it out, Live Nation Live from Home, where artists are filmed doing performances, obviously in front of no audience, but it's going out as a digital version. So that's a great example. Norah Jones is going out over Facebook Live. Got some wonderful songs there. She did a tribute recently to Willie Nelson. I think it was his birthday or something. So she's been performing live from her house. Radiohead, both Radiohead and Metallica separately, they're doing releases of archive concert footage. So if you ever want to see Radiohead and Metallica live in concert and you haven't done that, go check out their YouTube channels respectively, where they're playing archive footage. Billie Eilish, she's been doing some stuff with her brother Phineas, introduced by James Corden. You can find them on YouTube as well. Also Live at Home on YouTube. So that's actually a channel. Check that out. This is a place where artists are going and doing effectively concerts from their living room or other venues in a COVID sort of compliant social distancing way. An amazing pivot for them as well. The one that I want to highlight though is indeed the largest concert that just happened last month, 23 April. I'm filming this today. What are we doing? 11 May it is today. And this was a concert by Travis Scott. So Travis Scott, for those of you who don't know, is a rapper from Austin, Texas. I think he hails from. Really, really good guy. And he was to headline the Coachella Festival. I haven't been to Coachella. I'd love to go, but it's a huge music festival. And of course, with Coachella cancelled, that should have been a pretty big dent in Travis's plans for the year, but not a bit of it. What Travis did is the most, I think, wonderful and creative pivot. He instead put a series of 3 concerts on in the gaming environment of Fortnite. So it's a first-person shooter game, I think you'd call it. social game where you can play with others. So it's an online game. Do check it out. It's a cool game. And what gamers noticed is there was a stage that was being built over several days in part of Fortnite Island, just in the bay there. And of course, the announcement was then made that Travis Scott would be performing. I think he did 3 concerts in total. The one that I'm talking about is on the 23rd of April. I'll put the link below. You can watch it back actually on YouTube. It's a fantastically surreal, wacky, amazing experience where all of the game rules were sort of stopped for the period of about, I think he was online for about 10 minutes. And the weapons or whatever else was around were replaced by flaming microphones that gamers who were in attendance could hold up, or you could do these emotes, headbanging or whatever. And you would follow Travis Scott, who appeared as a giant sort of avatar, I guess you'd say, around in the environment. It started on the island, then you went into the deep ocean. You could swim around Travis, and then finally, for the crescendo, he took everyone into space with him and grabbed 2 stars, whacked them together, and that was his finale. He had several changes of outfit during that time, initially appearing with Nike Air Force trainers, I think. So it was a bit of a show for Nike as well. And he chose this forum to release new music, which has resulted in a number of things. One, he had an absolute spike. His YouTube views went through the roof. I'm sure his streaming volumes did as well. It's raised a lot of interest. And here's the big thing. During that 10-minute set, he had 12.3 million people, gamers, all live watching his performance. And since then, 28 million people just in this one performance have watched back the replay on YouTube. Enormous. Over the 3 concerts that he did, a total of 27 million players attended these. And I think the previous, I'm just looking at my stats here, the previous record for the largest live concert was held by Vasco Rossi in 2017 in Medina, and that was viewed by 225,000 people. So from 225,000 people to a live audience of 12.3 million on the night, multiple millions since, 27 million over the full 3 concert period, and approaching 30 million at the date of filming views ever since. So what a wonderful example of music reinventing itself to give viewers, fans out there, a substitute for the live music that I know I'm missing and many other fans are missing. But what a wonderful example of creativity, one we're celebrating. I'd really encourage you to look at the links below and go support some of these artists. They're still working, they're still doing what they do best, and the performances, I think, are becoming more and more surreal and wacky, as we just saw from the Travis Scott example. See you next time.